We did a nice job on especially on the Sunday match against Michigan. So, or let's see, Saturday night match against Michigan after it was our 8th day on the road, and so it's a tough road trip. Not sure we've ever been on that many days back to back like that, and pleased how we came out of it. Now we got to protect our home court.
How is he doing physically after being on the road, away from home, out of their team that much?
Yeah, I don't know. We got a lot of people sick. You could tell I got something. So I don't know. We didn't do much yesterday. I didn't see everybody yesterday, so no more today. We sent them to recovery yesterday. They had a couple different options. One in downtown Lincoln, South Lincoln, a place called Restore, and we had some stuff here. So it was try to get a recovery day for those guys, and so we can start gearing up for the week. I think they really enjoyed it.
This year you've had a few inconsistencies with setting and serving. You still have a great record and still played really well in some matches. Why? What are some of the top reasons you're still successful?
I don't know. I mean, Big Ten's tough. Again, when you serve, Nate showed me the stats. I think with those conference stats you showed me, yeah. I mean, I think we're number 1 in aces now. We're number 1 in opponent efficiency. You do those two things, you got a chance. You guys have heard me say that before. I also think that this team, we've played so many different lineups, but it's a great group that really embraces playing with each other. They play great as a team. Nothing phases them as far as who goes where, and I'm pretty amazed by that. I like to have one lineup and we go from there, but we've had to make a lot of adjustments, and they've handled it really well. So I think that's another strength of ours.
Have you had a team with not just the type of depth, but the type of flexibility where you can move around as much as you do?
Not really. Like take Maggie, for example. I mean, she plays 2 positions. She's high school senior still. So, it's just we got some competitors and some athletes, and we've Lindsey Krause, who's been moved up back and forth. So they're just very adaptable. I just tell them, hey, you're volleyball players, go play volleyball. And again, they just really help each other out through all that.
When did you know Becca wasn't going to play?
About we were getting on the bus to go to the match.
Was that a doctor that told you, or Rebecca told you?
It was our trainer, Jolene.
Of Lexi's 25 digs, did you see how many turned into kills?
I have not looked at that yet. It's a great question. I just, Mondays for us are we evaluate the last 6 matches, which is the Big Ten so far, and we look at what do we got to get better at, where are we weak, where are we strong, any adjustments we can make, and that's something I need to check out. I'll have my stat guys on it. Good question.
Converting digs to kills this year?
So our transition game, it depends on the night. We've had some really, really good nights, and we've had some really tough nights. So same when Lexi sets. We've had some great nights and some tough nights. So it's, part of that is who we're playing, but it's something we're working really hard on, and we're still not where we need to be. That's why I think this team has so much upside.
John, Penn State comes to town this weekend. Russ Rosen will be on the other bench. Is that going to be a little strange?
I think our fans will miss him. I get more texts when he comes here about him and his coaching style. And of course, he has a lot of connections here still. He always sits down there and people come and visit with him. So I'll miss that. But last year I gave him a present. I won't tell you what it is. When they last played here. He had sent something to my Lauren's daughter or my granddaughter, and so I wanted to kind of pay him back, and he really appreciated it, and so I'm glad that happened, because I didn't know that would be his last time coaching here, but so I feel like we had some closure.
When you talk about the flexibility, Allie kind of, after coming back from her injury, stepped into the opportunity and performed pretty well. I mean, were you glad to see her kind of seize the opportunity that she was given?
Yeah, and I, she missed quite a bit, and it was taking her a while to get back into it. But I told her, we got on the bus, and I said, "Okay, Allie, here's your opportunity. Let's go for it." And made the adjustments, and Allie competes, and I've always had a lot of confidence in her, and she showed us last year she could play in big matches, and Michigan was a big match for us.
You said on the radio after the game that Kennedy did a phenomenal job against Michigan. What was working for her, and what's the next step to continue building on that? Just
be more consistent with her tempo and location, and her choices. So we're working on some, we're always fine-tuning it. Like I told you guys, it's like an Indianapolis race car. Okay, you're always fine-tuning it. Try to go, 1 mile an hour faster than everybody else. And so Kennedy gets fine-tuned every week, just like Ani does, and that's what we're constantly working on. And we saw some adjustments that she made, and it paid off.
Besides keeping her feet on the floor, were you making any other adjustments to what she's doing?
There's it's always adjustments, all kinds. But the main thing is for a setter is to put up consistent balls in a consistent location with a consistent tempo. Yeah.
How do you describe how much that road trip took out of you and the team?
Well, it was, it was 2 weeks of road trip with 4 days of travel, and they handle it really well. I think this group likes hanging out with each other, because you have a lot of downtime. I mean, you basically have a whole day in between you're waiting to go, and so they handled it really well. I really complimented them on it, and because sometimes that can get old and people can start getting what we call the disease of me and being selfish and get grumpy, and they did a phenomenal job.
Any more questions for Coach?
All right, guys, have a great day. Thanks.
Well, I'm proud of our players. The way they responded to the last 2 games, they found a way to win. You know, hats off to the coaches also. You know, you can preach staying on course, you know, but, you know, working hard, you know, and making things happen, you know, you got to practice that way. You got to practice to make things happen. And, you know, telling them today, you know, we got to make sure we're finishing on every play and every drive. And today, you know, at practice, the kids they flew around. They got after it. It's a straight, tough Tuesday practice. But we appreciate the way they came out today. We're going to take a step in another direction because we got to play well in all 3 phases to win this game. It's an explosive offense, a team, the quarterback's averaging 300 yards a game, and the defense is top 10, top 20 against the rush. I think they're giving up 2.9 yards a rush. But it's a really good football team. It's a mature football team. They've done a really good job. Brahms has done a really good job of keeping his kids in a program. And I think that's part of being successful, is keeping your kids in a program. Questions?
What's the biggest step you got to take on the O-line? And I mean, it's kind of the personnel you have at this point, right? Mm-hmm. Or what's your thoughts right now with where you're at? What's got to happen?
Well, we you know, we got to get them some help. You know, we got to give them some help with the play calling, with protection, you know, all of that. And we got to make sure we have our our best 5 on the field.
What's the status of Quentin and Luke this week?
They both look good today, but they'll be day to day. They'll be day to day.
How comfortable do you feel with the backup situation there? Those 2 guys either can't go or they have to leave the game on Saturday.
I have no choice but to feel comfortable. Like I said when I was in Jersey, we can't play with 10, so I have to feel comfortable with those guys. You know, I can't not feel comfortable with them, and then they hear what I say in the press, and then they don't go out and play. You know, because y'all gonna print it. You know, so my kids read this stuff, so I got to make sure that they know that I have confidence in them, and they know I do. They know I have confidence in them because we always say next man up.
Tommy Hill moved over from corner to receiver. Kind of what went into that decision, and is that a permanent move now for Tommy Hill?
It can be. You know, we think we need to get Tommy on the field. You know, if you see, you know, he struggled at corner. You know, so we wanted to get him on the field, and he was a high school receiver. You know, so we decided just to move him over and see if he can help us.
Coach, how have you kind of coached guys to have a short memory? I mean, to come back from 13 down on the road in the Big Ten says a lot. So is that something you had to coach them through, or were they kind of have a short memory already?
No, I can tell you that the locker room at halftime, they were kind of coaching us. They were saying that we were going to be okay, that they was going to come back and win the game. So what we were doing corrections and getting the game plan on the board. They was like, no, Coach, everything's going to be okay. We're going to come back and win the game. So they had a short memory. They know, hey, we played it. We're going to get it to the 4th quarter, and then we're going to finish. But they did it on their own.
One more on Tommy. With Quentin's situation, was there any thought of moving him back for a week, or is that not in the equation at all?
No, it's not in the equation. Not this week. Not this week.
Gabe Urban didn't appear in that game. What was the decision at running back? Was that situation?
Well, Gabe, we tried to see if Gabe would go. He's got that toe injury, so we tried to see if we were able to go, and he didn't look good in pregame. And one of my rules here, that the trainer don't tell me that the kid's ready to go. I don't say the kid's ready to go. The position coach don't say he's ready to go. The fans don't say he's ready to go. That kid tells me when he's ready to go, and he said he wasn't ready to go. And that's the way it's going to be as long as I stand in front of this team.
Is there on the offensive, back to the offensive line discussion, are you leaving open the possibility that could be rearranged again?
Yes. Yes. I mean, 2019 at LSU, we had a different 5 every week. So, you know, with the injuries and everything's going to play right now, so it could be a different 5. But we're going to get our best 5, though.
When you look at that offensive line, when you try to hang your hat on something, what would be their strength? I mean, what can this group do to put it all together right?
It's really week to week, you know, what we need to do to win the game. You know, if we need them to run block to win the game, they're going to run block. But if we need them to pass block, they would pass block. And they just got to continue to work. But, you know, my thing is I think that they're really good run blockers, but they also can pass block also. You know, we've been getting a lot of blitz. They've been heating us up a lot the last 2 weeks. So we're going to do a better job this week of ironing out the protection to give them some help.
The pass rush kind of showed up there against Rutgers. How important has it been to rotate those guys, keep them fresh up front?
We always talk about rotating them early and getting them to the full quarter so they can be fresh. So Doss did a really good job of rotating those guys. I think he played 5 edge rushers. You know, and that's you got to play that. When it's 80 snaps, maybe 60 to 80 snaps in a game, if you can get a kid in for 10 snaps, that speaks volumes.
What's momentum work? You guys win 2 in a row. Now you're going on the road. How do you see that sort of manifest during the week when you have that kind of momentum?
Well, like I said, we have a 24-hour rule. So we celebrate it for 24 hours. We come in Sunday and we put it to bed Sunday night and we get back on Monday. So it's about preparing. You know, I know we all talk about momentum, but if you played this game, there's really no such thing as momentum because you can have momentum and get your butt whooped. You know, so our job is to come back today and start preparing ourselves to go 1-0 this week.
Is there any value in having won 2 in a row just in terms of the spirit and belief and that sort of thing?
You've been here how long? You understand that there's value to it. You understand that. They haven't done this since 2018, so you know it's value to it.
How well do you know Jeff Brom and kind of how he coaches his football teams?
I don't know him personally, but I know he's a really good football coach and he's a really good play caller. He's doing a really good job over at Purdue.
Yeah, how have you seen taking these Mondays now and kind of changing the practice schedule has not only helped your coaches and your preparation for the next week, but also maybe helped your players' confidence in knowing that the plan is in place and they don't have to come in Monday morning and figure it out?
Well, the number one thing they need to do on Monday is get ready for school. That's the reason we took it off. The coaches going to game plan. They can game plan on Sunday. They can game plan. The number one reason we took Monday off is so they can get their week started with school. Because, you know, remember, we practice in the morning, so they can use Monday to really catch up on homework so when they go into class in the afternoon. But they're really good with it, and I think they really enjoy coming in on Sundays and putting it to bed and Monday having off where they can get their schoolwork out the way, then come in later for our meetings, player-only meetings.
I mean, has it been good for the coaches too that they can probably do some of the game planning on Mondays?
Well, this is a veteran staff. If they can do it on Sundays, they do a lot of work on Sundays. And Monday, they're just kind of putting the practice schedule together and getting practice together. But they do a lot of work on Sundays. But it helps them. You know, I mean, you'll have to ask the assistant coaches, but I think it helps them.
What have you seen out of Jaquez Yant as a possible option along with Anthony there at running back?
Yes, we like Yant. We want Yant to, drop his pads and find a hole. And if there's nothing there, use the 230 pounds and knock a hole in it. So we look for big things when Yant goes in the game. And we need Yant to pick it up a little bit when he goes in the game and move the pile.
Hey, Mick, what do you think about Purdue's quarterback, O'Connell? He's been around, and like you said, he's a veteran. What impresses you what jumps out at you when you watch him on tape?
He's a 6-year kid. He's a 6-year veteran kid, so he's got to be 23, 24 years old. He don't make mistakes. When the ball's I always say the ball's always in the area code. It's always somewhere around the body. But he runs that offense well. He's been there for 6 years. So he's a really good quarterback. He gets them going.
What did you think of the way your kids handled the atmosphere? It was a pretty decent crowd for road, and now you're going to get a sellout. How do you think you guys handled that, keeping it poised?
Well, I think the boys did a great job at Rutgers with the so-called sellout crowd. Because it wasn't a sellout. Let's be real about it. Okay, let's be real about it. It wasn't a sellout. So we hoping Purdue have a sellout. Okay, we hope Purdue has a sellout because at the end of the day, we embrace playing in a hostile environment. Chaos, we embrace that. Controlled chaos, we embrace that. And the kids, that really get their focus.
How much do you play up sort of the stakes of the weekend? 2 teams tied for first in the division, all that.
Well, we talked to him about nobody's going to win the West October 15th. So it's the next game up. The job is to go 1-0 this week. But nobody's going to win the West on October 15th. So we're not looking down the line. We're looking straight at Purdue. So tomorrow practice is the most important thing is Wednesday practice.
Mickey, how's Casey health-wise, and what's your level of concern with some of the shots he's taking?
Casey's a tough dude. He's going to take shots. He plays quarterback, and we drop back, and we move the pocket, but he takes shots. You know, I played option quarterback. I took shots, but Casey's a tough guy. You know, he was on the ground. He said it was his left shoulder. I asked him, I said, you throw with your right shoulder, right? I said, okay, get up. And he got up. Casey's tough. Casey's going to be to take those shots and get up.
Mickey, after the game, Kevin Warren came up and said some words to you. Just any insight on what you two talked about?
Well, he just said congratulations and, you know, just keep working. He's a good guy.
Hey, Mickey, how's Mark Whipple? We saw him, he was on a little surgery scooter over the weekend at Maryland and had a cart kind of taking him on off the field. How's Coach Whipple doing? I mean, has he been limited at all with what he's been able to do day to day?
No. Whipple's fine. You know, Whipple's fine. I mean, he's dealing with some things, but it's not getting in the way of him working. You know, he's shorter for the game. We had to put him on a cart. I mean, Whipple's been coaching like 40-some years. He should get a cart if he wasn't dealing with something. You know, so Whipple's okay. Whipple's tough. Whipple's probably the toughest dude on the staff. You know, nobody don't mess with Whip, so Whip's okay. I want you to ask him that question too, and then let him get after you.
Coach, 3 interceptions against Indiana. You had one against Indiana, 3 against Rutgers. What do you think is it about your guys' ability to create turnovers since Coach Bush has taken over?
You know, Bush and Fish is doing a really good job at that back end. They really clean up the kids' eyes, because you're gonna get more picks in zone coverage, and so they clean up their eyes. They're doing a really good job working together. It kind of reminds me when Bush was with Corey Raymond and LSU, that the kids are breaking on the ball, they trust in what they see, and they're making plays.
Kind of going off that, Coach, I mean, it's been since the third quarter against Oklahoma, so you guys have allowed a point in the second half. So, I mean, that was a problem for this team in recent years. So what's been the change, you think, that's guys been more successful just in the third and fourth quarter?
Well, we made a change, that defensive coordinator. That's the change.
You had a guy enter the portal today, but how have you felt about that, just that wide receiver room as a whole, and like where it is? I guess Bonner made the trip, you know, on Friday, and just kind of what's your assessment of that whole group and what's happened?
It's still a strong run. It's still a strong run. You know, I mean, Isaiah has that right. You know, he wasn't happy. He wanted to be the #1 guy, and we couldn't do that for him. But Isaiah's a good kid. He's done everything we asked him to do. But that's the reason they have the portal. I mean, coaches leave all the time. Coaches leave all the time. So when the kid leaves, you can't sit back and be angry at him. You got to say, hey, if I can help you in any way, let me know. Because that's being real. That's being real, not yelling and screaming at them saying, I want you to stay here. No, if they want to leave, then they have that right to leave.
What do you see out of young Bonner, just got here? What's his potential?
Oh, ceiling is high. Kid's going to be a really good football player. But we're going to put him out there when he's ready.
Saw Omar Manning on crutches on Friday. What's his long-term
status? He's day-to-day. You know, he got tackled on an over route and got his ankle caught up in the turf. So he's day-to-day. We'll see how he is at the end of the week.
Coach, back-to-back second-half shutouts. Has there been any thought to black shirts again, or is that still
no?
Future?
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, fellas, y'all have a good day.
Questions?
Casey, the extra day off help you a little bit, just having a Saturday
Yeah.
built on your normal schedule?
Yeah, it was good having a Friday game and then having Saturday off. Was able to kick my feet up and watch film and watch college football the whole day, so that was nice. And then have Sunday, and then we have Mondays off physically, so today was our first practice day, so it was nice to have a few days of rest. Well, we all needed it for sure.
What do you see on film from Purdue?
Purdue's a good football team. They're a veteran group. They're experienced. I'm sure you guys know that by now. When you look at the depth chart and the scout report, they have juniors and seniors all over the field on defense. They're very sound. They're physical. They've had a lot of experience. That's the main thing I see on film. They run different coverages. They have some good length. They're starting. One of their corners is 6'3", and then they have some good size in the back end at DB and at nickel. So They seem like they do a good job athletically, but they're very sound and they're very experienced, so that's what I see on film.
Casey, I kind of have a little bit of a different question. I mean, you said you had some time to watch some football, so I don't know if you got a chance to see some of the sack calls in the NFL this weekend. You're a quarterback and you've taken some big hits,
Yeah.
so I'm curious what your kind of opinion on those calls are.
Yeah, I wish that I had the Tom Brady rule when we played against Rutgers on Friday. That would have been nice. Probably would have had some unsportsmanlike conduct, some roughing the passers against Rutgers, but I don't know that they hit on Tom Brady. I don't know if it was roughing the passer, but you know, as a quarterback, you'll take the flag, of course. I didn't watch any NFL games because we do some things up here on Sundays, but I got to watch a lot of college football on Saturday, so I didn't watch any NFL games yesterday. Well, last night I got to watch the Chiefs play the Raiders, so I watched a little bit of that, and that was really it. I watched college football on Saturday, but not any NFL on Sunday. So.
How did you process the Texas-Oklahoma game? Like, how does that even work for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, I knew that I don't know if Texas was favored or not. I knew that they would win the game just because, you know, Oklahoma's been struggling recently, but they got a good football team. I mean, 49-0, I don't know if anyone was expecting that. So I was happy for the guys. I talked to them after the game. So I got to watch that live, which was cool. No, I watched it, and then, like I said, I called the guys and congratulated them, and they were happy. So that was really it. But I don't know, that was the first shutout in the history of the rivalry in a long time. I think, like, I saw a stat, the last 10 years or so has been like one possession games, and that was 49-0. So I was just stunned. It was a crazy game for sure, but happy for him.
After the game, you talked about how you had to let go of it sometimes before guys even were off their releases. What's the challenge when the heat's coming like that, about knowing that, and also you're trying to make smart decisions where you're not, like, how do you balance that?
That's the hardest part about playing quarterback. One of is just immediate pressure right in your face. I mean, you can imagine these guys are well over 6 foot, and they're anywhere from 250 to 330 pounds. And they're in your face, and you're having to make reads down the field, still being able to see your receivers, still being able to read the coverages. It makes it very difficult, obviously, when you get pressure on the quarterback. So anytime that I have a clean pocket, I think looking at it, and I had 2 interceptions. One of them was a bad read as I took a hit, so I wasn't able to fully step into my throw. So I think the ball died a little bit, but that was a bad decision either way. And then the second time, like you talked about, I got pressure from the right side, and I was throwing it to Oliver. Oliver ran a V route in the red zone, and he turned his DB around, so he beat the defender. And I don't know if it would either been a first down or a touchdown. My arm got hit as I threw it, so then the ball ended up like quacking in the air. DB picked it off and started a pep rally for Rutgers. But it's just the main thing was just trying to stay positive. And I knew at some point, like I said, they had to slow down the rush because usually defensive linemen, they're not skill players, and they usually aren't as in shape. So I knew at some point they would slow down a little bit. After watching the film, I think it was play 46 or 47 in the game, you could see a difference in the third quarter. They started to slow down the pass rush, and we were able to get in rhythm after that on offense, throwing the ball. So, but yeah, it's very difficult when you take, we only took 1 sack, fortunately, because I was getting the ball out. But, I had a lot of pressures, ended up being a high number for sure, higher than we want it to be. So it's very difficult. We had 36 pass plays, and I think I had pressure like in the 20s or something like that. So got to get that number down, of course, and the staff is working hard at doing that. And we're going to obviously try to get the ball out of my hands a little bit, but that was the main thing, is just trying to stay positive and stay in rhythm.
A few balls in practice to Tommy Hill. I guess he's switching to receiver. I saw that Friday night, a little bit of warm-ups. What do you see out of him at that position?
Yeah, last week they switched Tommy, and he's just natural. He's a good route runner. He has great hands, and he has incredible speed. A lot of people are going to be surprised about what they see from him, but we see it right now on a daily basis. Tommy, he took a lot of reps with me today in the ones, and I think we're 100% connected on deep balls. So he does a good job catching the ball and running good routes. So I'm really excited about what he's doing, and I'm definitely impressed for sure. And now that he's on the offensive side, I asked him, is there different, seeing the ball in there? He was like, I can see why it's hard to defend those deep balls, when they come down like that. So him and Trey are really good, and I think they'll complement each other well.
So
the second game in a row you've hit Trey for a big touchdown late. I mean, that was a game-changing play. So what do you guys think is so good about your connection just in the fourth quarter? I mean, there's 2 games in a row you get game-changing plays.
Yeah, I mean, we just try to make plays when our number's called, and like I said, Trey works hard. A lot of people, you know, they see Trey as how fast he is, but what I see, you know, Trey, he works hard on a daily basis, and I told you guys earlier in the season we're going to continue to push Trey and the rest of the receivers, and they're also, the coaches are pushing me to make every throw, and we just had a lot of reps, so we're getting better at practice. Our timing is better, our chemistry is getting better. Trey does a good job. When the fourth quarter starts, you know, Trey always comes over to me and he says, if you need anybody to make a play, I'm going to make a play for you. So we called on Trey two games in a row in the fourth quarter, and he made a play for us. And even on that play, you know, it's good protection, you know, good momentum coming off the interception the defense got, and it was a big play. So I kind of saw Mickey talks about that meme where somebody was like, Trey Palmer's down there somewhere. So I know he's going to be down there. I just throw it up to him.
How big of a deal is momentum? You guys won 2 in a row, first time around here in Big Ten in like 4 years.
Yeah.
Won 3 in a row. Can you carry it from week to week?
I didn't even know about that stat until after the game. You know, I think it's first time winning 2 back-to-back Big Ten games since 2018. You know, it's just we want to build a culture of winning around here, but we have to focus on the process and winning on a daily basis. So we're just focused on taking one day at a time and 1 week at a time. And I think since Mickey Joseph has taken over, he's done a good job of just allowing us to focus on the task at hand and not get too ahead of ourselves. So before we could talk about, you know, any end of the season awards and accolades and goals, we're just trying to take one day at a time. But it's good for us as a team and as a program to get 2 wins under our belt, and we're looking to continue that win streak.
Do you see the value of that just day in and day out when you have that momentum? Do the injuries feel a little less painful? Is it a little easier going out there, that sort of thing?
Yeah. At this point of the season, like I said, it's a long season, but momentum, I think, is more of an illusion. Like you talked about, the process and focus on taking one day at a time is more important. We have a saying here, day by day, so we day by day want to get better and better until we can't be beat. That was our first time with our back against the wall. We were down in the first and second half, and we found a way to win. So we've shown that we can do it. You know, everybody else sees it, we see it, and we know. So inside the building, we have great confidence, great composure, and we're just focused on, like I said, taking it one day at a time. Mickey's doing an incredible job. So we're just looking ahead right now. We're just going to continue to press on, and every day we just focus on, you know, today was competition Tuesday. Tomorrow is going to be no turnover Wednesday, and then on Thursday it's going to be perfect Thursday, and then on Friday it's going to be walkthrough Friday, and then we're just going to go out and play on Saturday. So thank you guys.
You know, there was a change about a month ago. You guys got Mondays off. How has that positively affected you guys? That sort of that change in routine, especially I know you got a lot of classwork.
Yeah, I think with what Coach Mickey's done with our schedule, I think has been a little bit better for us. I really like how we come in on Sundays and we do a lot more of active recovery stuff. We'll do a light lift, band stretching, kind of get the blood flowing again. So as Monday comes around, we're not just sitting around, you know, letting all the lactic acid being lethargic and stuff. And even on Monday, we have an optional lift. Guys will come in and we'll get a good lift in on Monday, so we're still doing something and being active. But I think Mondays has really helped us recover from games.
Do you guys feel a different level of confidence, perhaps, in knowing that by Tuesday there's been another day to game plan, and the game plan you guys are getting on Tuesday is maybe a little more developed than going in at 6 a.m. on Monday morning?
Yeah, I mean, some stuff could still be added, you know, to the very last minute. I know, like, even last week we had stuff going in during the game at halftime. So really it just depends on our ability to adapt and being able to perform and execute what they have for us.
Hey, what can you tell us about Purdue's offense? Obviously, a year ago, they gave you a little bit of problems. What can you say about what they did to you a year ago and Just your thoughts on what they've done this year.
Yeah, they're a good offense. It's kind of more of like an NFL schemed offense with more of a pass-heavy kind of team. It's kind of the same thing we were saying about Oklahoma, you know, but at the end of the day, you got to stop the run first. I think that's our big main focus as a defense is stop the run, make them earn our way to where they make them one-dimensional and that they're a passing-only team. I know they got a solid scheme. They have a great coach over there, 6-year quarterback. So, I mean, they're pretty solid.
A couple of weeks ago, Mickey was telling us, he told you to cut loose, and Coach Bush said he talked with you about that. What did that mean to you, what their message to you, and what's been the difference, you think, for you the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think it was just kind of what I needed to hear as like a confidence thing, to know that they had their confidence in me, and just kind of remind me of what happens when I do play loose, kind of the good things that can happen. So I think just hearing it from them really kind of reminded me of what could happen.
There's been a lot of talk about the simplification of the defense. Is that the biggest thing that's changed in the last couple of weeks and made you guys play faster? What would you put your finger on that's been the biggest difference for the whole group?
From a defensive line standpoint, the defense has never really been that complicated for us. I mean, it's been pretty simple. I don't really know what goes on in the back end, so I guess seeing how they're playing now, I think they're just able to see the call, get the call, make a change if they have to. But after that, it's allowing us more time to go out there and just play. I think that's the biggest thing, is that guys aren't trying to think. I think guys are starting to get more comfortable on the field. You know, we have a bunch of guys that are new to playing on the field and playing most of the game now. So with that game experience comes a little bit more confidence and comfortableness for them.
How has your play been different in the last couple of weeks since Coach Bush said that to you?
I mean, I've seen, I think Indiana's been my best game this year. I think it just, like I said, it just allowed me to kind of go into my brain a little bit and just tell myself to just buckle up, stop thinking so much, and just get going, and be the player that you know you can be.
Ty, those first couple weeks you're out there for a lot of snaps. Last couple weeks it's been down a little bit, but I mean, do you feel fresher as a result of that kind of strategy?
Yeah, I think Coach Dawson's done a great job at managing us. It's hard because being practice condition and game condition are two different things. So the first game, I mean, even though I don't blame Coach Dawson, I feel that my reps in that game, I think it's just me getting acclimated to game conditioning once again after being out for a whole year. And then, I feel a lot better now, as we're game 6, 7 now. So.
Hey, Ty, how fun is it? Obviously, playing at home is great, right? But how fun is it to be on the road and then to quiet the crowd, or being able to excel in a hostile environment?
You're gonna have on Saturday too.
Yeah. No, I've been to Purdue before. It was a great environment, and I think I was in 2019, and we went out and Darian Daniels had a pick. That was awesome. Almost scored one for a touchdown. So to be able to do that, and I think it instills a lot more confidence, a lot of more mojo and swagger to us as a team. No matter who's doing what, if offense goes and scores, I mean, that boosts the defense, and if defense goes out and gets a pick sack or a turnover on downs, that's huge.
How does this moment in time just compare to your career here at Nebraska in terms of you guys won 2 in a row, maybe just the momentum and belief? How does this maybe compare to the rest of your career here?
Yeah, it's two different ways of thinking about it. With Coach Frost and the way he decided to take his program, I think was his way, I guess, and I didn't see a problem with it. And then just coming with Mickey, I mean, he's a totally different guy, so he's going to coach a totally different way. And I guess it wouldn't be fair to us to not instill our confidence into him and not give him a shot for the opportunity if we just kind of counted him out already and thought the season was over. But that's not the kind of team we are. So,
What's maybe something unique about Coach Joseph that, as a head coach?
I really like how much involved he is. He's standing over the ball in practice as we're getting ready to do our 9-on-7 period. And he's right there in the middle, and you could hear him right behind us, or he's right behind the quarterback. So, I mean, he's always there, and he always takes pride in watching us and getting us coached up and seeing us excel.
Does he? It strikes me that he might be the kind of guy that's talking quite a bit. Like he's instructing on the fly. Is that accurate, or is he just watching?
A little bit of both. I know that he'll let you know if he thinks you got more in you, or if you're not doing it the right way. He'll let you know, but he'll also let you know that you're doing a good job and to keep it up and keep playing how you're playing.
How much have you got to know Brandon Moore, and what do you just make of his story? You know, popping up in August, and now he's out there with you guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, we'll take anybody who wants to be a part of our program, part of our black shirt culture. And I mean, if he can live up to it, then I welcome him. And I think he's done that since the first day I met him. I was upstairs in the office, and he had came in and introduced himself, and they told me his story. And I thought it was just crazy to be 8 years in college and being able to play one more. I just thought it was insane. And I'm really happy to see him finally get on the field. I think he's a great player. And then I think just the kind of mentality and his emotion towards the game, and especially being bought in with us, that he truly does care for us. I mean, like you said, he's only been here since August, and for him to show that brotherly love and show that bond with us is pretty cool.
What do you think it'll take to get your black shirts back?
Say that again?
What do you think it'll take to get your black shirts back?
Whatever it takes, and that's up to Coach Mickey, up to his standard. I mean, nobody knows what they do to deserve it or to earn it, and that's the thing about the standard that we hold, that the standard is never reachable, I guess, in a sense. So I just got to come out every single day. There's not a day that allows you to lack of that standard, or lack of the effort, or lack of the violence and tenacity when we go out there. So it kind of keeps you on your toes to keep doing it.
Is that a little extra motivation, having a black shirt and then having it taken away?
For sure. I mean, it sucks, but I understood from the coach's standpoint and from a player's standpoint of we didn't really deserve them after what happened the first few games. And hopefully we can get it turned around, and maybe we get them at the end of the year, who knows. But at this moment, all I really care about is winning games.
Appreciate it. We'll have Ethan Piper next, and Nick Henrich is also here, so that'll be our guys up front today. Questions for Ethan?
Ethan, can you talk about just your mindset, even the last year or two, of just sticking with it, you know, when you weren't a starter and now as you are again, what's carried with you through that?
You know, I think to answer that question, like, life is all about ups and downs. And there's obstacles that come in your way, and there's two ways you can look at it. It could be like, hey, you can believe what people are saying about you, or you could say, hey, like, this is an opportunity for me to be better. And I think for me, I'm grown as a man here at Nebraska. I'm very thankful for everything that's happened to me here. I don't think anything bad about what's happened, and for me, it's just an opportunity to grow. And I think through that, it's made me a better football player and a better person. So.
What's the biggest step this O-line has to take when you kind of watch Friday's film? Where do you see it at? Where's it got to go?
I think just watching the film, I think we just gotta. It's kind of a hard question, but I think overall we just gotta just go back to our basics. I think we can't be flustered. I think we were thinking about too much what Rutgers was trying to do to us, especially in pass protection. I think we just gotta believe that our technique is gonna produce the results that we want, and it's just a learning factor. I think Rutgers did a lot of things that kind of was not shown on film, and a lot of things that I think they played very well, but that doesn't give an excuse for us. I think we just gotta just go back to the fundamentals. That's all we need to do.
What's Coach Raiola like to play for?
You know, I love playing with Coach Raiola. You know, you have a good coach in your offensive line room when you love and hate him at the same time, and because he's always pushing you to be a player that he sees you to be, and he's just a great guy of just understanding kind of the feel of the room and pushing you each player to their full potential. And he teaches everyone a little bit differently. Sometimes he can yell at some people. Sometimes you gotta speak softly to someone else. So he does a good job of reading the room and getting us progressing the way we need to be.
I saw you seek out Casey after the game on the field the other night. I just wanted to see what kind of message were you trying to send to him, or the nature of that conversation.
I think the thing was just saying thanks. I think as like we had too many QB hits on Friday, and my message is him. He's stuck in there, and he made a lot of throws when he was under pressure, and did a great job of handling the pocket. And kind of just my message to him was, hey, we're gonna do better, and just believe in us, and we believe in you. So,
what's it been like over the course of the season, having so many changes week to week in lineups?
Yeah.
How has that affected chemistry, and how's that maybe been a positive too?
No, I think overall, like the change-ups hasn't changed our chemistry at all. We as a unit, we're not individuals. We're a family out there, and it doesn't matter who's playing. We have full confidence in each other, and we don't blink if somebody goes down or somebody gets moved or whatever. We're just in the next play, because that's all we could do. It's like if we start worrying about the other stuff, then it's going to affect the way we play, and we just got to keep moving on. So.
Hey, what's it like with watching Anthony Grant? I know you're busy doing your thing, but when you take a step back and get to see him on film and he runs over guys or whatever, is he inspiring? Yeah, he's a special player, and like he plays at a speed that is just a little bit higher than everybody else. And knowing we have a back in the backfield like that, it just means that our job as an offense line is even more important, and it makes our job even more important, like I said, and this to get that guy open. And once we get him going, it's a good night. And I know that our offense is the most functional when he starts building momentum himself. So,
What do you feel like the biggest strength of the line is?
I think it's just our work ethic. I don't know if you put on film or whatever, but we're blocking guys to the whistle, and it's a good, when you're doing a good job at outworking them is when they start shoving you and start like trying to little cheap shots and stuff. I know one of the Rutgers players got injured because somebody threw me off their block into them. And it's like that's just like that extra step or two is kind of like wears them out. So I think as we build more confidence and stuff, I think that's going to show even more through, and that's when we'll get our run game going in the second half.
Purdue was ranked 18th nationally against the run. I mean, it looks like they're playing good defense. What do you see from Purdue on film?
I think they're a whole bunch of veterans out there, and they know how to play their technique. That just makes our job know that we just know that we're going to have to come in and play very, like I said, very fundamental, do our basics, and just outwork them at the end of the day. If we do those things, if everybody plays with fundamentals, it's about your will against his will. So.
Anything else for you? All right, appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll finish up with McHenry. Questions?
What do you think's kind of been the key to the second half success the last couple weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've done a good job just making adjustments throughout the game, and at halftime especially, and then just when we come off the field, we're just taking it series by series and moving on right after the last series. So I think that's been huge.
Never out of the fight written on your tape, and some of the other guys did as well. I guess, how did that kind of come about? What's that mean to you guys to embody that?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I just kind of started writing on my arm, and we just kind of, as a house, like the people I live with, just kind of like that saying, that mantra. So I just wrote it on my arm, Indiana, and then just kind of started saying it on the sideline to just speak it into existence, I guess, and then it's kind of picked up. A lot of other guys on the team like it, so we're going to keep rolling with it.
I saw you after the game. You seeked out some O-linemen. They're probably friends with a lot of those guys, and they've had ups and downs. But how much are you, even though they're not on your side of the ball, how much are you want to like communicate that to them and be a leader?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really huge, offense and defense communicating as well as special teams, because, you know, we're a team, and I think when the defense is coming off and I got guys like Brew and, you know, Travis motivating me and like telling me they got my back, and, you know, and then they come off, we do the same for them. I think it just breeds confidence in the people, so it's definitely a big thing.
I was asked, like, what's the biggest change with Mickey as a coach, or something maybe you notice about him, just the way he does things, not to slam how it was done previously, but something that Mickey does specifically that sticks out to you that you're like, I like that? Or,
yeah, I mean, I just say his energy he brings every day is huge, and it's contagious. He's super just involved, and I mean, that's why, you know, he's made this, I mean, it's a super tough transition anytime a coach gets let go during the season, but he's made it as easy as possible with just how he is as a person and as a man. So that's been really nice.
When the defensive line is kind of plugging those holes in the run game, it makes your job a lot easier. So what have you kind of seen from them the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I mean, those guys they've been playing with their hair on fire, and yeah, I mean, anytime you have linebackers that are free or linebackers making tackles, it's a direct correlation to them playing well. Like Ty Robinson might not have any tackles or 1 or 2 tackles in the game, but he could have played lights out, and not a lot of people wouldn't recognize that. But yeah, I mean, those guys they've been balling out, and I mean, it's gives us as a defense a lot of confidence.
First drive of the game, they scored a touchdown. After that, only 6 points. What did you guys see on that first drive, and what adjustments do you guys think you guys made to only allow them to score 6 after that?
Yeah, I mean, we had a decent idea of what they were going to do. It obviously they did some things that caught us in some calls that were some hard fits and missed some tackles, and just, you know, so we came off the field, we made adjustments, we moved on to the next series, and then we were fairly successful from there. So, I mean, in the Big Ten, there's always going to be close games, so you have to make adjustments and continue to stay in it.
Ball's not exactly a rookie out there, but getting a lot of playing time, especially when Reimer was injured. What have you seen out of him this year and just where he's at as a player?
Yeah, I mean, Vaughn, CK, those two they're two of the most, you know, unselfish, hardworking guys that I've ever met in my life, honestly, and that's why when they get their opportunities and they go in, they do really well. It's because they prepare the right way, and so I have complete confidence in those guys, and they'll be ready to go.
What about Purdue? I mean, just their offense in general, how O'Connell, I mean, a year ago you got a pretty good look at him and what he did. What jumped out about that, and then how do you go about this guy?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a 6-year guy, or he's been in the system for a long time, so he does a really good job running their offense. Their offense does a lot of unique and different stuff with how they, you know, spread the ball around, and they also have a good run game, which isn't talked about a lot. But, I mean, yeah, it's a big challenge for us defensively, so we're just going to take it moment by moment and prepare really hard this week like we do every week.
Their tight ends, I know they've had great receivers. You guys have tended to handle their receivers pretty well. Their tight ends have been a problem. What do they do with their tight ends that's challenging?
Yeah, I mean, they do a lot of different variations of 12 and 11 personnel, and I just say they do a good job, you know, mixing up the route combinations and running some pretty tough routes to match up. So, I mean, we're going to probably see a couple routes that we've never seen in practice, and it'll be about running around and playing our rules.
Do you feel like does this team stress you in different ways than maybe some of the other offenses you guys have faced?
Yeah, for sure.
Coach Joseph talked about toughness, you know, and harped on that. When you see Casey go out there banged up, and even Ryan about to punt and shaking off an injury, how does that kind of galvanize the defense to step up with that toughness?
Yeah, I mean, those guys are obviously both incredibly tough, and we have a lot of tough guys on there. So, I mean, if you see guys fighting through some things like they are, it definitely motivates you to go out there and do your job when you're feeling a lot better than that. So, yeah, really respect those guys for doing that.
What chance do you have just to sort of enjoy the moment, you know, with momentum sort of been fleeting over the years, and now you're having a chance to play for first in the West? How much do you kind of embrace the moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been some good feelings after the games the last 2 weeks. But like Coach Joseph says, we have a 24-hour rule, so you can enjoy it for 24 hours. If you win, if you lose, you can, feel bad or whatever. But right when that 24-hour rule is done, you got to move on and get ready for the next week.
How do you like the change in practice schedule when you get Mondays off? What is maybe that benefit?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of it for sure. I think it just keeps guys a lot healthier, honestly, and then really helps just coming in Sunday instead, and then you can really put the game to bed, whether it was good or bad, and then move on to the next one.
Anything else for Nick? All right, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was looking at it and saying one more guy.